Madison Allworth has the story. I guess we're using our credit cards a lot more.
We are, like you said, we are back at record levels. This is really a consumer story here that we're taking a look at. You know, according to the Fed's monthly credit card report on revolving credit, which is mostly credit card balances, America currently has a credit balance of $1.103 trillion. That is above the pre-pandemic record of $1.1 trillion. So for the first 3 months of 2022, America's credit card balance was $841 billion. This is all after a period of pandemic savings where stimulus checks paid down debt and people weren't going anywhere to spend their money. So that extra cash paid down $83 billion in debt. That's great. But now we're back. We're at a 40-year record high inflation level. Credit card balances are back up year over year. And the unfortunate thing is they carry the largest interest rate for borrowing money at above 16%. And some experts are saying that rates could hit a historic 19% by the end of the year. So if you have that debt on your credit card, you need to deal with it because we could be at the beginning of a bigger problem.
I don't really see any large-scale caution right now, but I also know that things change fast. And we are talking right now about significantly higher interest rates. The stock market's way down. There's a lot of people worried about a recession. I mean, there's sort of only one way for these things to go.
And we're already seeing signs of consumers adjusting. I know we talked about it earlier on the show. Retail sales numbers came out today. Economists were expecting a 0.2% increase from last month. Instead, we were down by negative 0.3%. And that was something that kind of shocked people. Retail sales clearly slowing thanks to inflation, high interest rates, and weaker consumer confidence, and clearly debt that has been accruing.
It's rather a grim picture, is it not?
Yeah.
But it's reality. Thanks very much. All right, Amazon Prime members, they're not happy with Whole Foods delivery, and they're taking legal action. What's the problem?
Yep, class action suit. So the plaintiffs say, well, why are we paying $139 a year for Amazon Prime when we also have to pay $9.95 each time we order Whole Foods and
Home builder confidence. Well, it slowed for the 6th straight month. That was in May. Jerry Howard is with us. Now, he's the CEO of the National Association of Home Builders. Now, Jerry, is this a clear sign of a real slowing in the housing market?
I'm afraid it is. We're 6 straight months going down, and the leading indicator, which is the traffic at our job sites and at model homes, is down below 50, 50 being the equilibrium mark. So I'm afraid that it is a sign of a real slowdown. In fact, today we have about 1,000 of our members up on Capitol Hill, again trying to warn policymakers that housing, by the way, leads us into recessions, and if they don't do something to change their policies, this country could be heading into another recession.
It sounds like a perfect storm. The 30-year mortgage rate surged. It's 6.28 right now. It was 5.50 last week. I've never seen a surge like that. Oh, it's a long time since I saw it. This is a perfect storm for home builders. You guys are in trouble.
There's no question about it. The cost of capital has gone up for the consumers. The cost of capital has gone up for the builders. Cost of labor remains high. Availability of labor remains high. And the cost of building materials has gone up 19% year over year. It's a perfect storm.
I am told that homes in the very high end are still selling well, and you can still even get some bidding wars on high-end stuff. But lower down the food chain, that's where prices are really softening and demand is drying up. Is that an accurate statement?
It's more than an accurate statement. It adds to the warning. It's the first-time home buyer market which drives the housing market, period. And when first-time home buyers are priced out, the rest of the market will follow, except for the very high end. And those people will always have cash. They'll always be able to buy homes if they want to. But that's not the part that really drives our economy.
Okay, we've come out of a pandemic, and now we're hit with an energy price inflation. We've been hit with it. When you build a new home for customers, are they changing the kind of home they want or the size of home they want?
During the pandemic, we saw for the first time in many years demand for larger homes go up. It made sense. People were in their homes, they needed more space. We haven't yet started to see that reverse itself, although it well could. Right now, the main thing we're seeing in the transactional phase is that we have to put escalator clauses in everything. The builders have to be able to cover costs which we can't foresee because, for example, gas prices are going up on a daily basis. That's adding to the builder's cost. Right now, we haven't seen it affect the size of homes, although it could, but what we're seeing it affect is the way we're doing the transactions.
So just let me get this straight. So you sign a contract to build a new home. Built into that contract are escalator clauses, which the buyer of the home may have to pay if triggered by various inflation events. Is that's accurate?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of increases are possible?
Well, it increases in the cost of lumber, increases in the
But
cost of
Will it be a 10% escalator clause, 15%, 20%? Because there's big numbers.
Unfortunately, they basically say you'll have to pay what we pay, and we'll verify what we're paying.
Ouch. Jerry Howard, a very timely performance and appearance today. We always thank you for that. Good luck in Washington. See you later. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay, we got that. The housing market, certainly parts of it are cooling. My question, Lauren, is, are cities beginning to see property prices come down?
A little bit, depending on where you look. The steepest drop, according to Realtor.com, was 18.7%. In dollar terms, $115,000 in Toledo, Ohio, followed by large drops in Rochester, New York, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and there's one city on the West Coast that had a price drop. It was actually Los Angeles. It dropped 5%, but in dollar terms, that's $985,000. Imagine that, just chopping off basically $1 million off of a home, and that's just considered a small bit because homes are so expensive.
That's home prices. That's not commercial property. That's not that. That's home
It's home
prices
prices.
in those cities.
Yeah, so it's all levels that are starting to feel this slowdown in the housing market.
Take a look at the market, please. That's our bread and butter, along with politics.
So this was taped or recorded on Wednesday morning, June 15th.